is, I guess, going to be a little bit different because we have no main sports tonight. We have no NBA not till next week, but we have no MLB, no football. But um, we're going to be talking about NHL, and I just noticed that because of the way the timing of all this worked out, we have the lock for the golf is about an hour and a half away, so we can talk about that also. Plenty of time to finalize that, and we could talk about MLB. It's a pretty uninspiring slate, to say the least, but we can talk about that also. Um, the tennis from today was really cool, and it, boy, this is one of the reasons I do this. It's always so interesting to me to watch how lineups kind of move, you know, and to see how how leverage and low ownership really can just drive, your EV. I mean, I was talking about this with somebody, well, two different people over the last couple of days, and the question is, how much projection integrity should you give up in the name of ownership fade and being unique? You know, um, Obviously, if you have two guys, one of which projects 0.01 points below the other, but is 1% owned as opposed to 99% of the other guy, then yeah, you take the guy 0.1. But then again, if the guy's going to project 50 points worse, then you probably shouldn't take them. So where is that break even? How much ownership advantage or how much leverage advantage is worth how much of ownership of projection integrity giving up? And of course, the cool part is that there is no answer. Well, more to the point, the answer is something we don't know yet. Um, and what's cool about it is that once that once that is determined, then basically DFS is over, right? Um, so this is kind of cool. It's the constant battle between how much to give up as far as median goes in the names of being unique. Um, and when you said, now I'm going to have Kevin saying, how much did your predictions help with tennis today? I'm just asking because I don't like at it. I don't know what that means. You want to know the truth? Um, oh, you didn't look at it. My predictions, nothing. So the point I was making is that you take these lineups that I played, right? And this is it over here. I think I have it. Hold on a minute. And we'll talk about all the other stuff, but I think it's important. So you take these lineups like over here that I played, and most of them had zeros or whatever. But I want to go to the one that didn't quite get there. This is the one that I was sweating for a while. Where is the one that got crap? It had what's his name? Who did Thiem beat in the last round that I was sweating the whole time? Goran? Oh, who was it? I already forgot. Hold on. Giron, right? Okay, so I'll pull up. Yeah, I only had one lineup with Giron. Okay, so will it not even show what the ownership was? Okay, so I had this lineup here, which had a bunch of guys that did well, but the key was this guy Kachin or girl, whoever it was 16% owned. Okay, and she was 16% owned and putting up an 85 spot, like right off the bat. Okay, so in tennis, especially when you have a slate like this, 16% owned is pretty low. And when you have that, it creates all this leverage on the field, and then I had the Wolf come in at 15%. So what happened is I had this Marcus Giron who I was sweating at 9%. And all he really needed to do was get a straight set win, which is really not asking too much when you think about it, to win something outright. It was a unique lineup because of all these other kind of lower owned ideas. And I was sweating it, and I'm like, oh man, he didn't quite get there. Even if he got 7-6 in the second, you know, he still would have gotten there. So then kind of gave up, and I'm like, I noticed I did have a Thiem lineup, the guy that Jerron was playing against, but he then really wasn't in contention. Now, in fairness, okay, but you know what? Variance goes both ways. But I mean, I'm allowed to be lucky also. But so it turns out that the lineup with the guy I was rooting against ended up taking it all down because he ended up getting a bagel in the last set. Okay. Even him being, where is this? 56% owned. Okay. Now he needed to get exactly the bagel to get there. I won by like 3 points or something like that. But the point I'm making is that even though like he was 56%, just to have two of these guys like under 20, like Bonder in this one and Pat and Kachin in this lineup, that's enough to get leverage to be unique. Now, again, I almost don't even care that it won. But what's cool about this is you look and there are 4 guys tied behind me. And that's kind of a cool thing, you know, like that's the way I judge how my lineups are, is if I have uniques at all. Now it's so funny. You asked, do I have salary left on the table? I honestly don't remember. I mean, if I pull this up, I don't even know. Like I can't even do it. I'd have to add this up manually, I think, right? How else can I? Does it say how much it leaves on? It's kind of silly that it doesn't say how much it leaves on the table. Let's see. Oh, it does have remaining. No, that's just remaining. It doesn't even say. But
I didn't know you were going to be live here. I was just going to pop on myself for a minute. How's it going?
Good. But what I will say is this, is that I don't know exactly how much I left on the table, but I will say that I didn't care whether I left money on the table or not, which means I probably did. But this was the takedown. I mean, this was it. And the reason why I bring it up was because, again, like it's being unique in sports like this is so much more important than picking the right media. And that's why I shouted out to Saberson. You know, I never listen. I do work on the projections. I put stuff up there, but I let Saberson build these things for me because it's what I like to call a smart randomizer. You know, it'll randomize your lineups enough that they're unique, but still provide a shot, you know, to win. You know, so yeah, I couldn't Saberson. Of course, I couldn't create these lineups myself. I have no idea who these people are, and I don't know which one of them has got the more upside than the other guy. I really don't. But the fact is that I do the work with the projections. I put them in, and then in some form, trusting the process makes sense. And did this have more than 2,000 left on the table? I honestly don't know. I really don't. So that's that. So what I was going to do is I was going to go over the other sports. I was going to go over hockey, whatever. But if you're here, let's talk about baseball.
Wait, what are you talking? What is the thing you're talking about?
That was the tennis thing I won today.
I didn't know you won one. That's amazing.
You gotta follow Twitter sometimes, you know. And when I tag True DFS and I post in 17 different Discord channels about it, maybe the owner of the site should know if somebody
I just got back.
Something. I don't know. What the hell do I know? You know.
I just got back, man. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, it was ultimate resuck out. I was like, you know how you get suck out, then you get resucked out on. I was trying to get there with one guy that I was rooting for, and I just barely missed. I needed him to win in 2 sets, and when he lost the second set, I kind of gave up. But it turns out the guy that I had against him, he won the third set 6-0, which got me there. So 2 unique lineups, and one of them got there for 10,000, which provides all kinds of cushion for the next
beautiful
next week of shit, you know. So
let's
awesome, so you're here. Let's talk about baseball because I know some people want to talk about hockey, which I'll do. But what are you playing the slate? I can't help myself. I'm gonna play it. But
yeah, I'm doing it. I was supposed to go possibly tonight, but I decided to. You know, I've been going back and forth. I decided to go to Game 3 in San Diego. I'm not too busy for anybody, Kevin. I had no idea this was happening. I was going to pop on and talk about baseball thoughts. So basically, it's really obviously going to be hard to get different tonight. The natural thing would be, okay, maybe leaving money on the table is one thing you could do. For what it's worth, I do like the Dodgers a lot tonight. That's not anything special, but I think this is a really, really good spot for them. And I will, that will be my priority, will be to get as many Dodgers in. And I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't know. I guess maybe stacking the 7, 8, 9, 6, 7, 8, 9 might be a little way off the board, but it's kind of hard to get off the chalk for me tonight, which I'm assuming will be the Dodgers. And I like the over in that game in general too. I think it's too low at 7. And then the next thing I would do is I like I'm sort of surprised by the run projection total for Philadelphia. I think it's off. But with the wind blowing in that game and kind of ugly weather and everything, I think you'd be better off trying to play the lefties over the righties if you had to choose in that Atlanta's-Philadelphia game. So that's sort of what I'm doing tonight.
So this is what I did. I played 10 lineups. I played 10 lineups and I screwed around. I played some stuff, and I got bad news for you, Bobby. Like I happen to be running hot today because of the tennis.
Yeah.
So if my hotness carries over, it looks like it's going to be 1-1 in this series.
Why?
Yeah, because I got 92% Darvish and like all the Padres. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. The Dodgers.
I'm kind of rooting against myself. You want to know the truth?
I'm rooting against you for sure. Sorry, buddy.
Right, because I want to see the World Series. I want to go.
I know. We got to see the
I want
Series.
in. You know, I want in.
You can't ruin it for us here, man. We got to.
And then I got Zach Wheeler as the other main guy. As far as the pitching.
Wait, Zach Wheeler is your other.
Yep, Wheeler and Darvish are my two main pitchers.
I have Wheeler and Kershaw.
Okay.
But I have no problem. I mean, there's no real wrong answer for pitching.
No, there are 4 total pitchers on the slate.
Yeah, I mean, and they're all really, really good.
Yeah.
But I do think the Dodgers are gonna get to
Probably
to Darvish tonight.
Probably.
Although for what it's worth, he's been pretty good against them, considering like comparing against the rest of people against the Dodgers. He's been awesome. And obviously,
now, are they playing this first game at 6:30?
Yeah, I mean, well, that's what they say they are.
Okay.
But we'll have to see. I mean, and I watched a little bit of your golf thing. I think we're a little bit on different pages, but mostly, some things there that are similar. Did you end up with any KH Lee or Kitayama, by the way?
All kinds of KH Lee.
How about Kitayama?
No, as a matter of fact, it's really funny. So this is what I did. You see my screen share right now?
Yeah.
So what I do is when I build my stuff, like I have my sheet up here, and the first bunch of people I crunch are like I make like kind of like arbitrary cutoff points. Like I see here, like my top guys, and then like you see this guy like 6% ownership, and then like the guys underneath are like 10. So I'll make this cutoff. I'll play like these guys in a bunch of lineups, 2 through 12, and the next group I'll like include everybody down to like this group because this is an 8%, so I get rid of these guys, right? And then I'll build with all of them, and then I'll do the same thing with this group. And Kurt Kitayama is the first guy I don't play. and unfortunately, the second guy I don't play is Tommy Fleetwood. So we're on different sides of that one. But only
they're both in my main build as of right now.
I know, I saw that. So it's just because of the OCD way I build using my sheet. That's the only reason I don't have these. No, particularly, they're not bad plays, but that's just right. What I did.
That is pretty funny though.
Yeah.
So you're you're on the other side of the game tonight, which I think makes perfect sense.
For no reason. I have no opinion. I mean, it's just I'm random. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, no. I mean, we'll see. I got scared a little bit last night because it felt like that game was this was a little too many guys with too many winning runs up all throughout the game. It was a lot tighter than I thought it was going to be.
Well, I'll tell you this. I got the booster yesterday. I think.
How you doing with it?
I think it's like my 37th booster. I can't keep track anymore. I didn't have any side effects, but I got really, really tired. And you want to talk about this? This is for the people, right? I was about to go to sleep. It was like really early, like the Dodger game had just started, and that's how. I mean, I never go to sleep that early. I'm like, I'm crashing, and then I said, you know what? Before I crash, fine, I'll freaking do the freaking tennis projections and put a couple of freaking lineups in. And there you go. Yeah,
There it is. That's amazing,
so
man.
I missed basically the whole base, I missed the whole Dodger game. But I woke up once in the middle of the night. I saw it was like 5-0. I'm like, oh my god! I thought it was going to. I said it was going to be 10-0. It's really going to be 10-0.
I know for a minute it looked like you were on.
Yeah.
Your exact line was going to be called. And I was going to be mad at not
Right,
writing
right.
But man, yeah, it was a good game actually. It was a little too close for comfort.
Dude, and what about the Seattle? What the hell is that?
What?
The Mariners
my
game
God.
yesterday.
I mean, that honestly put me like in a depressed mood before the Dodger game. As much as I want the Dodgers to win, I almost not quite as much, but I enjoy the Astros losing as much as anything else. And I like the Seattle team. They're sort of a fun underdog team, you know, the big comeback against Toronto and everything. I just felt like, God, it's just so gut wrenching when you lose a game like that. You're basically dead in the series. There's no way you can win, I don't think. But yeah, that was brutal. But that's great. I'm thrilled about tennis.
Yeah, the other thing about golf, I just want to let you know, for those of you that watched the video, I did put my money where my mouth is. I did bet outright 40-1 on Cam Davis.
Oh, I almost actually was considering. Well, I didn't end up playing him, but I was deciding between he and Pereira, who I wanted to play.
Those are two of my top 5 guys.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
All right, nice. What else? What other sports do we have going on here?
Well, I was going to go over hockey because it's opening night.
All right, talk about hockey, and then I'll just hang out here. I might bounce in a minute because I don't have much to offer on the way.
Okay, so just so you guys know, just to answer a couple of questions, then I'll get into the process and stuff. So Adam turned me on to a website which I still haven't gotten a chance to fully grasp, like how useful it is. It looks very useful. It's called dailyfaceoff.com. They do a lot of different things, and they do have a fantasy section to it. I want to get a little more familiar with it before I, give it my thumbs up or my whatever. I think all information is good information. Before I start even using their projections or doing whatever, I want to kind of poke around it a little bit. But the thing with hockey is the process I'm going to be going over is the same as I did last year. I think I did really, really well. I know I did really well, but I think this is the way you're supposed to play. So the first thing I did was like any other sport, I put the projections up. Okay. And they have the value score, have the ownership or whatever. And depending on whether you want to use SaberSim or hand build, you kind of do it a different way. Like if you do SaberSim, I'm going to go over how to do that in a minute. But if you're hand building, you honestly just kind of eyeball this stuff and you see what the highest value score is. You look at the ownership over here, and then you try to find dudes that are kind of like playing on the same team. That's like that's the first thing. And then what you do is then you go and make sure they're playing on the same line or the same power play line, and you can kind of hand build kind of based on that. Now, that's really been the way that I've been handling this with a couple of little tweaks. Like I first of all, I don't mind playing like the cheap goalies or anything like that because the way scoring works in hockey, you almost don't even want the win. Like you just want to. It's almost like fantasy in basketball. You don't care if you lose as long as there's like a lot of upside, a lot of shots fired. So not too worried about the highest priced goalie and the biggest winning chance or something like that. Sometimes we'll just err on the side of taking the cheapest goalie to make the rest of it work. So as you see, like kind of right off the bat, like someone as they mentioned, like Toronto's probably going to be, you think popular. They have Austin Matthews at the top, but what I did notice is there's not a lot of other Toronto guys that are projecting all that great. So maybe it's not the greatest stacking slate in the world, at least from a hand building perspective. So that's what I do when I hand build. Like the first thing I'll notice, we'll see Gallagher. He's 2,900, 6% ownership. He's probably a guy I could start with. It'd be nice if there were another Montreal guy in here, but I don't really, I don't really find one. We're gonna do a SaberSim build, but one thing you have to really keep an eye on with hockey, and unfortunately I haven't really come up with a solution of how I can help, is with these late line changes that they release. And sometimes it doesn't come out till literally they take the ice for skating. And there are some sites that are really on top of it. I think there's Twitter feeds that are in our channel that'll talk about it. I really don't have time to follow it, if you want to know the truth. And what you can do is either just try your best to just adjust, because I'm not going to be able to be there like 5 minutes before freaking face-off to update all the line changes and the projections that accompany it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'll get to that in a second, Adam. Um, so you're just gonna have to just kind of manually just kind of deal with that if there are late line changes. I don't know why uh you're telling me the ownerships are not populating on the sheets. That's very I don't know why that would be, because this is exactly what I put up there. Do me a favor, post that in or Bobby, maybe post that to Evan or something in the admin thing. I don't know
What am I?
why
What's happening?
apparently, as Adam's saying, the ownerships are not populating to the web to TrueDFS somehow, or are they not populating
I don't,
to SaberSim? Adam, you want to help me out? Tell me, or you can even post them
yeah,
to.
I don't know which one it is.
Well, he'll tell me.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll post it in a bit. Oh, it's on your end. Oh, they do show up in SaberSim. Where
Oh,
don't they show up, if at all?
not on the TrueDFS sheets.
Not on the TrueDFS sheets. Okay.
Okay.
You
So
don't have to post a screenshot. I'll be able to. I'll be able to go in there. Hold on a minute. Let me see, and then I'll just tell Evan whatever. I'm sure just because we haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
And you know, dude, you don't have to be passive aggressive. You don't have to say, "Oh, what happens when the PO doesn't show up?" Is there another source? You can say, "Dude, the freaking it's not on there." You know, that's what you meant to say, right? So that's fine. Well, just on those cases where it doesn't show up on the sheets, where else can we find it? How about sheets? The freaking things aren't on there. Let's see. So I can't quite. Keyboard doesn't work. All right. So let me log in, and then I will do a SaberSim build in about 10 seconds. Let's see. The other thing, the residual of Mark, whenever I see the freaking two-factor authentication, I'm so on tilt. See, so on tilt. More sports, NHL projections. Let's see. So I'm gonna log in, and that's no good. So now it's two-factor authentication on my own freaking site, not my, not mine. So.
No, it's your site.
And then I got to go to my email, get a verification code. This is just even to log into TrueDFS. This is like literally amazing. But I'm gonna do it. Okay, so. Let me see what it looks like. Okay, so more sports, NHL. So they made it to SaberSim, but not to the main sheet.
That's weird.
That's very strange. Yeah, the peons are not on there. So let me put on. Let me tell Evan in here. The NHL ownerships are not on the tables. It's somehow made it to SaberSim. Sims. Sims. Oh, crap. Please take a look. All right, so we will deal with that. Okay, so to answer your question, am I playing on DraftKings or FanDuel? I'm playing DraftKings.
Do you play hockey on FanDuel sheets?
I don't. It doesn't pay enough. It pays like $1,000 for first. Yeah. Usually, it's just not enough. So this is the way I do the SaberSim builds. Everybody. So I could do it from the website, but I'm from TrueDFS, but I like to do it for my own. All right. So again, if you want to do it this way, you could do it this way, or you could do whatever. So the first thing I do is I upload the projections here. This is the same file you'll be getting or whatever it is. And I will exclude unlisted players. He's out, so let's exclude all out players. Okay, so I'm not going to make any changes now, but this is what you could do. Well, hold on. Let's just build these now. Let's build 30 lineups. Don't make any changes. And the cool thing, I've always said this, is that I think that for hockey, you get that. I think you get that extra edge from SaberSim probably as much as any sport, if not more, because hockey is so dependent on correlation that any system which takes into account the actual correlation of players to players is going to have that much of an edge. Like I think SaberSim is like good for basketball, for example, but I don't think that the extra edge of SaberSim over something else is the same as, say, for hockey. So like you'll see already like all kinds of stacks, like all over the place. Like you'll look under stack types, 5 2s, 5s, 4 3s, some 6s, 6 zeros. And that's hockey correlation 101, you know. And I like to kind of go with this. Now what I like to do is I like to first look and see what I'm getting. So I'm getting 60% Carolina, 40% Colorado, so nothing seems completely off. But one thing that I like to do, and this is my own thing, is I want to exclude players from the player pool, and not always, that are not on either the first 2 lines and no power play. In other words, if you are on the 4th even strength line, that's fine as long as you're on the first power play. But if you're just on like the 4th line, just some total punt, I probably won't do it. It's the equivalent of getting one of those like 2K. Who's that guy we talk about in baseball a lot? The 2K guy that you said never to play. Guys like that, like guys that'll be 2K, they'll look like point per dollar plays.
Like Madrigal or whatever.
Yes, like Nick Madrigal. Like there's a bunch of Nick Madrigals that show up in right. Hockey builds. So what I do is reverse look by even strength line, and just kind of look and see who like this like some of these turkeys here, like this guy like Connor Sherry, 4th line, no power play. I mean, I would literally just start Xing those out like across the board. So him. Blid, we'll get rid of him. And let's see. Ben Myers, get rid of him. Donato we keep because he's 4-1. That means he's on the 4th regular line, but he's on the first power play line, so that's good. 3-2, that means 3rd even strength line, 2nd power play line, that's fine. So then let's see if there's any 3 zeros. In other words, 3rd line and no power play, because I probably want to exclude those 2. So Jordan Harris, we'll get rid of him. And then we'll go down, see if anybody else. This guy, Jalen Chatfield. And then got a couple more. This guy, and we should be good. So, and again, the coolest thing about SaberSim is that it makes all the lineup adjustments for you after you do that. So I'll just go just like this. Then go into my over here. I might as well show you the NHL file. Download those. Boom. 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 Now, you've noticed that one thing I did not do was like limit the amount of money to leave on the table or anything like that. I just let the SaberSim do its job. And, you know, and I've talked about this a lot. It's not something that somebody that regards themselves as smart, whatever, likes to say, but sometimes you get a little bit too cute and don't respect the you know, all the work that goes into these algorithms, that you end up becoming way too smart for yourself, you know. So this is probably what my builds are kind of look like. Now, if you look at them, you can see that they leave some money on the table. I don't even know if this is a lot. You know, it's 300, 200, 300. Probably not. These are probably very ordinary type builds. And then what you do is the next thing I do, and this is something, whatever, just make sure that your goalie is starting, because sometimes you'll get like an old projection file, and then there'll be a goalie replacement. Whenever there's a P next to him, that means that he's actually starting. So I got to keep an eye on Demko to make sure that he's actually starting. One thing that's kind of cool, Bobby, is kind of neat, is that it's not like the NBA where if a guy gets ruled out, like you have to like figure out like who to put in there. The replacement goalie, whoever they replace him with, is usually the exact same salary. So it's
right.
So you just literally just put him straight in.
That's cool.
And then what I might try to get better at this year is stuff like what Kevin Wise is telling me, saying stuff like, make sure you play Jarvis tonight, meaning I have no idea what that means, right? Maybe try to get a little bit better with my knowledge of the actual players. Now, as it turns out, hey, what a surprise. He's 68% of my lineups. See, I made sure I played Jarvis tonight. You know what I mean? Like, so like these types of things are usually kind of well factored in by the projections. But there's one guy that somebody, I think it was Kev10 in the Discord channel, talked about way early in the day, and I want to kind of look into him. He said Chinikov today. Make sure you play him. So I have no idea who that is, but let me just see if he's showing up in my lineup. Like not even at all. And then what I'll do again, because I listen to everybody, you know. Now I'll go here and I'll look into my projections and see if I don't even have him projected. Chinikov. Yeah, I mean I have him, but to be honest, I mean he is like very, very poorly projected, you know. So I don't know what this Chinikov guy is. So if I were in the mood, and it was a little earlier in the day, I would go and do some research on this because look, all information is good information, and the more I play hockey, the more I will want to kind of learn about these players a little bit more. But that's pretty much how I roll. And I will also, you could late swap hockey. So later on in the night, like let's see when these games are. So there's like there's 3 7 o'clock games and then 3 later games. So the 7 o'clock, what I'll probably do is if the 7 o'clock games aren't going too well and it's 9 o'clock or whatever it is, I'll run another build, you know, and I'll juice up the randomness, and I'll juice up the ownership fade a little bit if I'm not doing very well. So I can definitely do that. And then I just kind of enjoy, and I just kind of sweat. You know, it's really not, you know, it takes very, very little work, not really rocket science. And am I expert at it? No, but I think like the combination of being able to aggregate the projections nicely, may be able to make a couple little tweaks in there, and you know, and just kind of abiding by the process makes me competitive enough in these things, you know. And every once in a while we bing something, and then it is kind of a fun sport to watch, especially down the stretch. Like if you have to sweat like no goal in the last like 4 minutes, that gets really hairy. If you need an empty netter, it gets really hairy. And it's just, you know, listen, it's another thing to do, and to see like the impact of 5-6 man stacks come in, which happens all the time. I don't know, it's pretty cool, you know. So I'm gonna try, and I said this earlier, I can't promise I'll do like daily hockey content like this, but tonight it was such a perfect time because there's no NBA, no big baseball slate, no big football slate. So, you know, and listen, if I get bored during the day, if I have time, I may do the occasional hockey slate because the people that were into it really got into it. And the other thing with hockey is I'm going to attempt to find, I do this every year with every sport, and try to find somebody out there that can, I don't want to say help me, but can talk about this stuff with me and maybe talk a little bit intelligently, maybe do a video with me from time to time and whatever it is. So that is the deal. With hockey. Yep. Okay, so Kevin's saying play Chinikov too. Young player, scored the most goals in the preseason. Okay. How about this? We'll keep an eye on him. We'll keep an eye on Chinikov right now. What's his price? He 3K? Let's see. What's right there? It's Carolina. And I can't wait. It's 7 o'clock. All right, you know what? Just for you guys, this is what we're gonna do. Just for the fans. What we're going to do, and this is going to show how SaberSim works. We'll go into Chinikov. Chinikov? Or Chimakov? How do we do this? Chinikov. So let's do this. Let's first of all, let's give him a projection. Let's give him a little bit more than this. Let's give him. How about wait, where's the thing? If I give him, what if I play 15% of them? Is that acceptable? But it's already yelling at me. But that's okay. So we're going to play 15% of Chinikov just for the fans. For Kev10, for Kevin Wise, for all the Chinikov people out there. Because the good news is that I don't know what lineups I'm giving up by playing Chinikov. You know, so I don't know what the Chinikov is not. Chinikov is not allowing me to get to my Bossy, Trottier, Tonelli lines or my Gretzky, Messier, you know, what you call it? Who's the other guy from Edmonton? Forget. can't even get my jokes right. I don't remember the names of the guys.
I can't
Gretzky,
remember.
Messier, and got Jarvis, maybe. I think Jarvis on the 76 Canadians. Anyway, oh, you like Joanne? You like the hockey? Oh, nice, nice.
I'm going to probably bounce, but I'm glad you're doing this, man. Good job.
Yeah.
I wish you all luck. Congratulations on a great win. And it's beautiful. Every time I don't seem to notice anything happening, I look up and you just won another tournament.
There's always something happens.
I love it. All right. Well, good luck, everybody, tonight, and let's make some money. I'll see you guys later.
Okay, the one thing I got to do then, I got to go back to this. Now they got Chimikov in or whatever. I got to redo these 4 EV guys, right? Or don't I? No, it looks like we're good. Now I gotta get Craig Smith out. All right, Chimikov. This is gonna be the man, huh? Chimikov is gonna bring us home. Okay, we gotta take out these 3 zeros. Oh yeah, we're doing golf in a sec. Here we go. Oh yeah, we're doing golf. 3-2, 3-0. Let's get rid of him. 2-1-2-0. Okay, so now we will download these again. You want Ches Reavie, huh? Well, okay. Hey, this is America. You can play Ches Reavie. Let me see how much I have of him. Chimikov. Oh, what is this now? Screen Variety TV? What is that? To watch? Oh, on another site, you mean? Okay. So Ches Reavie was going to be on what site? You're getting a bunch of him. Oh, okay, the other sites? Well, let me see. Now, when you say SaberSim, are you using the Sabres? You're using the TrueDFS stuff, projections, or SaberSim, or? All right, let's see. Let's just confirm that. Let's build just for the hell of it. We'll build some FanDuels with what I have here. Let's see what this is going to look like. Adam Long, Joanne, you like him? Let's go FanDuel. SaberSim, yours. Okay. So if it were me, like if I was going to use my stuff and I was going to play FanDuel, just blindly playing. All right, so let's talk about this. So let's talk about what type of contest we're in. Let's do. Well, you know what? Let's play 150. I'm not really familiar with because usually what happens in FanDuel is that the top guys get jammed, and with various stars and scrubs. But see, what I'm getting here is not a shred of Ches Reavie, which is kind of fun, right? This is what makes horse racing. I don't think I'm getting a single share of Ches Reavie on FanDuel. What I'm getting is just a shit ton of Ricky Fowler. How do you like them apples? So, how scary is that? When's the last time Ricky Fowler won anything? Just so stupid, it just might work, right? So if I were playing FanDuel, this is what I would get. As a matter of fact, let me just see how much of the Ches Reavie I would get. I mean, literally 0. Not a single share of Ches Reavie if I were playing FanDuel. And then let's see if I change that to sorting by projection score instead of Saber score. Then let's see how much Ches Reavie I'd be getting. Then I'd be getting still 0. So I don't know what to tell you. Ches Reavie, yeah, very interesting. Otsuki, do I even have him projected? Otsuki? Yeah, I have him projected. I'm getting 0 of him. Who's the other guy? Imahara? There you go. I'm getting some of him. I'm getting 2% Imahara. This is on FanDuel. Yeah, I don't know. Who's the other guy? Kayana? I don't even have him projected. Kay? I don't even listen to the. Oh, Kanaya. Kanaya, that one? Takumi? Yeah, I'm getting 0 of him. I don't know. What are you getting? Are you getting recommendation from the Japanese like a Japanese DFS site or something? That like all these guys? Yeah, I got Sadaharu O as a one-off. Yeah, whatever you call it, the Tokyo Giants are usually not a stackable team, but Sadaharu O is definitely a good one-off in situations like this. You're in again with the Screen Variety TV. Are you some, I don't know who you are. Are you someone I should be blocking? Are you like, what are you a subscriber giving us some information? I don't even know what this is. Probably should be blocking, right? I don't know. Tell them I know. So yeah, the other thing I have to look into. I actually did some football. I put up some football projections a little earlier today. One thing I will tell you this. I mean, we did a pretty good Survivor Pool video as well. Tomorrow, how about this for a Thursday night game tomorrow? Washington, Chicago, 38.2 total. How do you like that? And I only promise you one thing. Only thing I promise you in this showdown slate tomorrow is that the defenses of both these teams are going to be the most hopelessly over-owned plays on the entire slate, and I will have 0. That's the only thing I promise you. And the kickers will probably be the second most owned players on the slate, and I will have 0 of them too. This is the way DFS groupthink works. You get kickers and defenses getting there in the highest scoring games of the season in showdown, and then you get this low total games. I promise you, they're all bad plays tomorrow in showdown slates. I promise you. I will have 0 kickers. I will have 0 defenses, and that's just the way it's going to be. Yeah, what I was going to do, I said earlier, I'm going to stack. I have Theismann with Alvin Garrett and Charlie Brown, and I'm going to be running it back with Willie Gault. That's what I'm going to do. Like most people are going to play Riggins plus defense for Washington. I'm going to go the passing route. I'm going to go Theismann, Garrett, and Brown, and run it back with Gault. I mean, the Bears defense with Singletary and Fensick and Doug Plank and all those guys and Richard Dent. I mean, these guys are, obviously they're talented, but I just think they're going to be that whole defense is going to be too highly owned. I'm going to go for all of the offense tomorrow. So that's what I'm doing. Hope the fun bunch celebrates in the end zone, and we'll talk about that then. By the way, I had a pump fake 2 weeks ago, but this time we're definitely going to do it. I will be in an area where I could do NCAA football this weekend. I thought it was going to happen 2 weekends ago. So I will want winners. That's right, Adam. I will definitely want winners in college football this weekend because I will be able to do something. That's about it. Mrs. Sheets and I are going out to dinner, so I'm going to bid you all farewell and good luck.